a mathematical formula to that's being applied to a dynamic event. And that dynamic event are traders who are acting on their own behalf, creating price movement, and they create patterns that were doing the same thing over and over again, but you've got new people coming in with new ideas and old people leaving, and as a result, these patterns can change over time, diminishing the results of a particular edge. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your sample size is large enough to adequately test that edge, but small enough so that if the edge is diminishing in its effectiveness, you're not losing an inordinate amount of money before you find that out. Does that answer your question? So that's how they find out. Okay. Besides that, because there's software available that'll even tell you now. There's software, there's software available that'll track your edges or to track your equity in a way that can indicate whether or not you're ready to take a hit. I don't know the name of it, but because I just found out about it myself. So,
what are some other ways that you can address maybe a emotional problem you might be going through, or other things outside of the trading area besides stop trading?
Well, you say there are a number of techniques, a number of books available. There's counseling. I'm going to make a recommendation of a particular book later on. When we get into a little bit more detail. But it depends on the effect that it has on your trading. I mean, you don't necessarily have to stop trading, but you have to make an objective assessment as to your state of mind. In other words, you can actually say to yourself, am I in the best state of mind to be trading today? And, and the kind of answer that you get back from yourself, if it's relatively objective, it's like if you're really not in the best state of mind because of things that are going on in your life and some troubling aspects that you haven't reconciled, but you don't want to stop trading, well, at least you're aware of it. Another technique would be by keeping journals, because most really good traders keep pretty extensive journals about what they're doing and what they're thinking while they're doing it. And then you make this assessment so that at least if you don't want to stop trading, you still want to put whatever edges on you have for that day, you scale back. In other words, if your maximum position size is, let's say, 5,000 shares, you're not in the best state of mind, maybe you only want to trade 1,000. Maybe you only want to trade 500. In other words, to take these things into consideration. And you'd be surprised by just being aware of it and taking into consideration. A lot of times these things will reconcile themselves. Does that help you?
Yes, it does. Thanks.
Okay, and the last area of these broad skill sets that we're talking about is develop the ability to recognize if you've crossed the threshold from normal self-confidence into a state of euphoria. You guys are laughing. I finally got some giggles out of you guys here. What's so funny about this? Anybody want to share? What? What's that?
You don't want to be in a state of euphoria.
No, you're right. I mean, being in a state of euphoria, let's put it this way. The primary, let's say, the primary characteristic of the state of euphoria is that it's a state of mind of complete and absolute risklessness. Everybody get what I just said? You are in a state of risklessness. In other words, you have no ability whatsoever to perceive risk. So if, for an example, if this line right here, if below this line represents normal self-confidence, and above this line is euphoria, and this threshold's different for everybody, by the way. I mean, there are certain chemicals that scientists have found that that flood our mind and our body when we've crossed this threshold. I've worked with traders who will flip into a state of euphoria with one winning trade. Okay, usually for most people it takes more than one winning trade, but I have worked with people that they'll flip into a state of euphoria with one winning trade. Now the problem with this, and it's a great state of mind to be in. I mean, to be in in virtually a riskless state of mind. I mean, it's like, hey, it's really a cool place to be. But the problem is that when we're in a state of euphoria as a trader, it's virtually guaranteed that we're going to make a trading error. And the kind of trading error that we'll make in a state of euphoria usually has to do with position size. So for an example, if you normally only trade 1,000 shares, in a state of euphoria, it's like, okay, let's mortgage the house. Okay? It's like, let's go to 10,000, 20, 30, whatever. 1,000 shares. Because you see, you absolutely know for a fact you wouldn't be putting this trade on if it wasn't going to work. See, you know for a fact. See, because you don't have any ability to perceive risk at all. Now the problem, even though it could even end up being a winning trade, it's not that the trade might not end up being a winner, but here's typically what's going to happen. If you're a normal 1,000 share trader and you go up to 10,000 shares, if when you put 1,000 shares on and the market went against you 5 cents a share, wouldn't be any big deal. You got 10,000 shares on when you absolutely knew for a fact that the trade was a winner.
All right, guys, what's up? I'm gonna go ahead and get started with ACAD. So we did get this accumulation here, and it came down, gave us another accumulation in here, broke order flow. So now just looking at this here, I'm looking at this as a type 1. And then this would be our spring here, broke that structure, came down. And I'm looking at the 80% of this last push down here before the push up. A chef. So looking at this redistribution here, this last push up before the push down, I measured the entire thing. Looking at the 80%, it's about a 9 pip stop. We're looking at like a 1 to 9 though. Hey Jay. So again, here we got this type 2 accumulation. We got our obvious sign of strength, and it looks like it came down and it's starting to accumulate. So hopefully we can get a spring. If not, and we make a new high, then I'll just be looking in this area. But that's it. So AN, I was looking for a buy here. Didn't quite come down to my entry. Now, so I'm just really looking at this redistribution. But I'm gonna be waiting on a schematic just because I was expecting an accumulation down here. This does look like a type 5 altogether. CAD chef. So I was looking at this as an accumulation. It could still be. This could just be our spring. Yeah, so I see the redistro too. I measured this entire move up, so I'm gonna be waiting for a distro, probably about in this 80% area.
If you scale up to like the 1 minute, there's a fractal distribution, and then like there's like a second time frame distribution up there. The second time frame distribution is what I'm looking at. I don't have a risk, or I don't have risk on it. Yeah, you can see it up there, that last drive. 50 and 80% is what I'm going to be looking at possibly throwing risk at if we start getting that distribution to start printing.
I like it.
So
But yeah, I'm glad we got the same bias. Cat Jappy, we got this entire type 4 here. Broke the trading range. So now just looking down in here, we did get a type 4 on the 5-minute, and we broke the trading range, made a new high, and higher low, and then another new high. So just gonna see how this plays out. I am risk free already on it. Chef JPY. So it did we did get a pretty nice reaction from our entry here, and we did get a schematic. It did come down pretty deep into this last drive here, and we did get another reaction. So we'll see if we can get a new high. But I really want to see it go like break this high.
are you in this really?
On my live account.
Got you. Clean. I got stopped out from that entry up there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't take the re-entry after it. I watched rinse repeat. I'm still holding the lower entry from like a couple weeks ago. From like that
I
4 hour
didn't go
strip.
risk free. I didn't go risk free on it, so I'm still in it.
Nice. You take any partials or not yet?
I took some like around here somewhere.
Got you.
So Euro AUD looks like it came down and accumulated and tapped into our 50% here, or almost did. Maybe what spread it did. Came up on our fractal accumulation, made a new high, pushed down again, and then continued up. So really want to see this make a new high before trying to trade off of it. But if it does come down and accumulate in this area and give like a clean accumulation, then I'll probably take it. Euro CAD. So it looks like this might be turning out to be a redistribution. But I want to see it either make a new high or low. Yo, chef. So it looks like we're getting this pretty clean accumulation here. I'm just gonna be waiting on this on his strength, but if we come down in here and we get like a 5-minute or 1-minute schematic, I'll probably take that. About a 3-pip stop. to the high, it'd be about almost a 13-1. EG. Looking at this push up here in this distro, and it's kind of been walking up slowly, but structure is bullish. So if this does turn out to be a reaccumulation, that's why I'm expecting this to come higher. EU. So it looks like we redistributed it right here and then made a new low. So now I'm just gonna be looking for schematics in here. GCAD. So it came up and distributed in the right under the area I was looking at, and did make a new low, but it's retracing pretty deep. So we might be looking at a possible accumulation here. Let's see. I do want to see this come lower, so maybe a redistro. We'll see how it plays out. But if we do come up higher and get a schematic in here, schematic in here somewhere. GJ. So I just want to see this come a little bit lower. Maybe try to hedge a sell off this redistro here. Like a 20 pip stop though. So probably gonna be waiting on a distro, if anything, but yeah. GN. So it's right in the area I wanted to see it start distributing. It looks like we're getting maybe the start of one. So if we come up and get like a 5-minute schematic or 1 minute, then I'll be trading off of that. GU. I want to see this come up and distribute, but a little bit lower, and we could be in the area to start accumulating. So yeah, just gonna be keeping my eye on this for now, I guess. And CAD. So I was trying to buy off the reaccumulation. Looks like it turned out to be a higher time frame distro. So just gonna be waiting for it to come up and distribute somewhere up in here. And Chef, We're right in the area where I wanted to see an accumulation. We did break order flow here. And so I was going to try and trade off of it, but we didn't get a clean schematic. Ended up breaking that low. So now I'm just going to be waiting on a cleaner schematic, hopefully. And you? So we got this distribution. Came down again, made a new low, distributed, made another new low. So just gonna be waiting on a distro here. Where do you have it at?
Check out the 4-hour. This would be perfect if she comes up and distributes because we'd be able to take her down to at least literally the extreme of this order flow right here.
Over here.
So there's a like at the bottom there's like a 4 and a 6
here.
pips. No, to the right. Yeah,
In there.
inside there.
I got it.
Yes, sir. It's my extreme limit. So if we don't retrace and distribute, I'm just gonna be waiting here.
Feel you. I have one up here too.
Got you. I have some alerts. I'll be watching for the schematic from that reaccumulation.
Yes, sir.
How many pip stop loss is that right there?
Mm,
That higher one.
10.
Got you. Is that from an 80%?
Yeah.
Got you. Clean, really?
You CAD. So we got a nice reaccumulation here. Got our shakeout, but it is a 15 pip stop. So gonna keep my eye on this, see how if we can get some compression or something. You chef. So we reaccumulated, never came down to my entry. But we made a new high. So just gonna be waiting on it now to come down and accumulate in this area. Probably looking at this. And UJ. So it looks like it broke above this distro. Looking in this area here. Got a 10 pip stop. See if we can get a 5 minute or 1 minute schematic here. That's about it for me. You guys got anything you want me to look at or anything?
That was clean on my side, really. I ain't got nothing else. I was just kind of be playing whatever plays out from like Frankfurt or London tomorrow morning.
Gotcha.
But yeah, really.
I think I might actually be setting this.
You said what?
I think I might actually be setting this.
Got you. Pretty clean. Did you end up placing your Axie for sale, brother?
Yeah, I was actually gonna check that out, see if you wanted to look at that after the YouTube.
Oh yeah. Let me